What's up, nerds? Welcome back. New show, Loki, season 2. Sleepy's doing a Speedo dance. 2,000 subscribers. PS5 giveaway. We're going to spoil the episode, so if you haven't seen the show, come back later. Check it out, put it in your watch list, and let's go. Sleepy, what'd you think of Loki season 2, episode 1?
Coming off of Ahsoka coming to this, it just feels a tiny bit underwhelming, but I don't think that's the show's fault. I just think that Ahsoka put my um expectations through the roof for TV shows. But overall, I give the episode a solid 8. The only thing I didn't like was some of the super unrealistic factors. Like, man, I wanted to see when he crashed that car into the little room that's down below where the TVA. I wanted to see him fly out of it instead of just him chilling in the back seat of it. Just small little things like that bring it down. But other than that, my favorite part of this whole episode was the banter between Mobius, OB, and Loki. While he's time slipping and he went back to the past and like, do you have one? He's like, no, I don't. Wait, I actually think yeah, it's right here. Like it's showing how you can when you talk to someone in the past, it affects the outcome of the future. Like I genuinely love most parts of the episode. It's just small little bits and details that I didn't like. But that's all I got, really.
Gecko?
Um, I'm gonna be honest. I agree with Sleepy in a lot of what he said because coming from Ahsoka to this kind of felt different. You could tell our different franchise and whatnot. I had to give it an 8 just because I think the show could be better. I think giving it a 7 will be really harsh, and I that's just my opinion because it was really entertaining. The second time that I watched it, I kind of understood it better. Probably if you watch it one time, you get kind of confused on the time slipping part. Because when I seen it the first time, I got kind of confused. I was like, wait a minute. So he's back in the, and at first I didn't understand it because you start understanding it when he has the conversation with Ouroboros and
Yep.
and what's the name of the guy?
Mobius?
And Mobius. But it's little things like that. I can't complain about the acting because I think the acting was nice. I think I love that it started from the ending of season 1. And I don't know if you guys seen, but it got an end credit scene. They should have probably done that with the Star Wars show. I was surprised they gave it an end credit scene on the first episode. So, and then I was confused because was that Sylvie when she opened the elevator? I feel like
Yes, there was Sylvie.
right. So I feel what's going on here, and this is just my opinion, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. I think the story here is that Sylvie went to that with the end credit thing. She went to 1982, right? And she finally has a life that she wants to live for, and now she doesn't want to get pruned or her timeline. That's just my thinking because she wanted to tell him something. And another thing is, who the hell was calling? I thought it was Sylvie calling. So not being Sylvie and opening the thing, it kind of tells me that probably it was Kang. I don't know. I'm just saying. A lot of stuff there. Another thing that took me by confusion, and I don't know if this is the way it's gonna work for, but I thought that whatever happened in the past wouldn't affect the future. What wasn't that what they said in Avengers? Or like I don't know. There was a lot of confusing parts where probably needed more explanation. But other than that, I think it was a solid start for the season. And to be honest, I can't complain nothing else. What do you think, Tony?
I give it a 9, 9.5. I love this episode. Love everything about it. Your Sylvia thing, when she came through the elevator, you didn't notice she actually pruned Loki. She wasn't there to tell him something. She pruned him. And according to Screen Crush, he believed we're seeing the ending of the show there. So he believed that's actually the ending of what's going to happen. The thing on the phone, I think that's Loki calling himself to warn him about something, and Sylvia prunes him. So, my opinion, that he doesn't pick up the phone. That's why I think he gets pruned. That's just my theory. So I'm not saying that that's fact. I haven't seen that on spoilers anywhere. Also, the post-credit scene, it's Sylvia going to McDonald's in 1982. That takes place after she kills Kang. That's where she goes. She has been on a run her whole life, and according to theories, is that it was described in McDonald's as being the happiest place on earth. So that's where she went, to the happiest place on earth, McDonald's in 1982. It was actually a good restaurant then, and the food was good. Uh, I love everything about Ouroboros. I think he's funny. I think with your theory about you can't know your past and your future, remember, the TVA takes place outside of the time stream. So whatever happens there doesn't really affect time in the Avengers world unless you force that in there. I like General Docs, is her name, theory that that is an actual older version of Sylvie, the one lady that was on the council that was suited up, because remember, they're going to the end of time to actually see what happened because Loki never told them that. So she's got a group going there and they're suited up for battle. But and I love all the different, I love the confusion that we don't actually know what's happening. I love everything about this. I love what it could be. I saw the trailer for season 2 where Ravenna Renslayer is going to make an appearance. And I hear that's the Victor Timely episode. And also, when Sylvia landed in Braxton, Oklahoma, what was in Braxton, Oklahoma in the comics? New Asgard. So there's a lot of references here and there. And I tell anybody watching this, if you haven't seen Ant-Man Quantumania, a lot of this show will not make sense. So I would recommend go watch that movie because parts of this show are going to tie into Kang in that movie. What was your favorite? What was your least favorite part of the episode, Gecko? The least.
The least favorite part.
Oh, that's a hard one.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I could tell you what was like one of my favorite parts.
Go for that one then.
I liked it when he's in the, I guess he's in the future, is it? That Kang already won. And I guess he's telling Ramona Rainslayer that she was like a huge part and that he wanted to how you call that? Ally with her. Mega
Yeah,
alliance with her.
that was a recording, and the speculation is that that takes place in the past with a variant, and then he sent her a message saying that if you go through whatever message he sent at the end of season 1, you need to go there so we can be together, and that's the rumor that takes place in episode 2 when he's actually Victor Timely.
See, I like that part because it keeps the Kang or He Who Remains or whatever you want to call him. It keeps his mystery because I like the mystery with him. And I think this show is gonna give us that. So that's why, like, my rating, I feel like that because I thought I want more.
Sleepy?
It's hard to think of my least favorite part because the things I'm picking on are the stupidest things in the world to pick on. Like,
Go for it.
there wasn't a bad part about it. Realistically speaking, like I'm a Gecko, I could give you my favorite part, and that was the entire banter between OB and Mobius. Just having Loki back in general is my favorite part. Like, he has been the bread and butter of saving the MCU these last few years. So just him having his little cocky, little funny moments that he has, is like, well, it's okay, guys, I'm good. And then he runs away. Like, it's just fun shit.
I think another weird thing is that in the past, Kang reveals his identity, but in the future, it's considered a mystery. No one knows who's running the TVA. So notice when Loki pruned the wall, none of them knew who that person was behind that wall. So it's odd that when Kang founded the TVA, everybody knew who he was, but he completely wiped that from them. in the present day. And like the fact that Loki crashed the car in the past, but yet when he would time slip to the present, the floor was still damaged. It's like
No,
when Mobius wrote the little thing on the old school computer monitor, it was there in the present as well as in the past. So this episode was really sort of all over the place, and I think it's meant to keep us guessing because they had to shut down Miss Minutes because she works for Kang, and with all the glitches, you're not sure if you can trust her. And we're going to see that evil version of Miss Minutes in episode 2. So it's like I like the fact that it's all over the place and it's not predictable. Like some of the things in Ahsoka and some of the other Marvel shows you could predict. So far, after episode 1, I have no idea where it's going. I've stayed off of chat boards because I don't want to be spoiled. But I like where it's going. I'm hearing a rumor that Deadpool or Wolverine will make an appearance in this season to tie into that movie because the TVA will be in there. Mobius and everybody will be in Deadpool 3, and that maybe Tom Hiddleston also filmed a cameo for that. So, and I'm wondering if he gets pruned, and he goes back to that sort of world that he went to, will he see now X-Men artifacts there that we didn't see in the first season because they didn't own the rights to it now? So it's all like the little things that have you guessing, because this is unlike the other movies and TV shows they're working on, has already been filmed and is complete. So you can basically start to now speculate what's going to happen. What do you guys want to see in episode 2? Go
a
for it.
little bit more of Jonathan Majors.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
to see a little bit. I
But you
want to
keep
see
saying
a little bit
Jonathan
of
Majors.
thing.
What specifically do you want to see is what I'm saying.
Like, I want to see him just like, yeah, you guys are variants, but I gave you guys life here instead of pruning you. So what? Like, give him like, be the little deceitful guy that he is to get the TVA back on his side. Like that, like how the entire TVA is going fucking haywire right now because they finding out they're all variants. But having him come down, and be like, hey, guys, yes, you're variants, but remember, you have a life here now. I could have that away myself if I wanted to, but I didn't. I let you live to help me control the timeline. Like that would be badass for me.
You're totally wrong on that. They're not going crazy because they're variants. The TVA is going crazy because Sylvia killed him. Remember, he kept the sacred timeline in check. And he said, once you kill me, you'll get something worse. So that's why the TVA is going crazy. The question I have is, which Kang is coming to fix all of this? Which one of those variants that we saw in the Ant-Man Quantumania is coming to actually fix it? Spoiler alert, by the way, for Ant-Man Quantumania. I think we're going to see the variant that is actually in Quantumania actually show up and take over. I know we're going to see different versions of Kang, but I think the one who fixes it is going to be that version, and he's going to be the evil version. Gecko, you got something?
I I think you're kind of right on that. I think he at the end we might get him, and they might think he's like the savior and
Mhm.
um the good one, but in the end he's working for himself, and it's all part of his plan. Um, I can't wait to see Victor Timely. To be honest, I want to see how he acts because it is true what Sleepy said. I think he's gonna give us. I see Victor Timely more as like the cunning villain, where you could expect not a fight as physical, but more of strategic, and that's something I want to see. But I want to see more about of Ouroboros. He was funny. I liked the part where the guy's like, "Oh, is that a crack in the helmet?" And he puts a tape on it. Like that was funny. I
Mhm.
liked that. That was funny. I liked that. That I think, like you said, it was well put. I give it a eight, because I was confused at a couple times, but at the same time, hearing your argument that leaves the mystery to the show, that's kind of makes sense, because it is true what you're saying. There's no way to know where this is going. So, with that being said, I just want to see more of this show and how it unravels. And with you putting that into perspective, where how do you call her? Sylvie pruning Loki,
Yeah,
and then now I got a question. If that is true that Sylvie prunes Loki, then what Loki comes out of there?
it's the Loki from season one. It's that Loki because
Eh,
remember he was doing the time slip thing,
oh,
so
okay.
she
He probably came
pruned
down
him
to
at
help
that
him.
time. Yeah,
Think
I
about it, because
think I
you
do
are the
believe
Rock.
she came there. Had he answered, I wonder, like you said, who was calling him, and I believe it was calling him himself to warn him that Sylvie is going to prune you, and that version of Loki doesn't want him there. I've heard also we're going to see more Loki variants, the same ones we saw plus other variants of Loki. So I know that. Did you notice that when they were going down to put him in the suit, when the door opened, it looked like Cerebro from the X-Men movies?
You know
So
what?
I know Sleepy has no idea because he hasn't seen those
Nope.
movies. But that door, the way it opened and the way it looked just like a scene from an X-Men movie. So that's more homework for Sleepy. The never-ending homework that he always has to do.
Yeah, there's so much to catch up on.
Mm.
Holy shit.
And I think I'm done with my notes. I think that's it then. We
Yeah.
can call it there. You guys give it an 8. I give it a 9. If you like what you see here, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. We got a lot of other videos, sports related, on the show. Eventually, Sleepy will get into gaming. Sometimes after he's done with all this homework. And ladies, please request what color Speedo you want to see Sleepy in when he's dancing when I get my Super Bowl pick right. Because he says he might even do a tiger print Speedo. You never know. Yep. And just say, hey, Sleepy Brown Eyes, do that dance, do that dance,
Sleepy
do that
brown
dance,
eyes.
do that dance. Deuces nerds.